Hi guys, so somebody asked me this question and I wanted to reply the person, but I feel everybody will benefit from this question if I make it as a video. Okay, here's the question. I have a land that is 100 by 100. I divided it into two and built a house to live in on the first 50 by 100. I want to start a poultry farm on the second half of the land. Is it safe for poultry to be raised in this kind of residential area? What are the other disadvantages? Is there going to be a likelihood of disease outbreak even if I establish a biosecurity protocol on this farm that is on the same land as my house? This is a very good question because it involves your health and the life of your family members, and also again business potential. I'm going to be giving you my own disadvantage based on my own research. Yes, it is very possible to start a business or raise a poultry that is close to your own home. When you are raising a large number of birds, especially chickens, this can affect the air, the smell, and even the health of the people living in that area. The first for me is the odor and the waste management. Chicken smells, like chicken droppings smells very well, and that's the truth. Even if you are clean or you clean that place regularly, poultry waste produces ammonia, and when the wind blows, that smell can spread into your own house. It can make living for you in there very, very uncomfortable. You will not be able to receive visitors in your own house, and it can also attract flies, rodents, if it is not properly managed. And if you have raised chickens before, you will know how noisy they can be, especially early in the mornings. I don't know if you can withstand that, but if that is not a factor for you, then you can go ahead with it. So the next is health and disease risk. Now, this is the big one. Poultry diseases like Newcastle, avian flu, or there's one name like that, can spread through the air, through water, or even through you as you move between the house and their pen. So even with biosecurity like foot baths, disinfectants, and restricted movement, it's hard to completely separate your living space from the farm because it's on the same land. So yes, there is still a small risk of disease spreading. That's if there's an outbreak in nearby farm. So the next is the environmental and neighbor impact. This one is if you have neighbors. If you're in a residential area, you also have to think about your neighbors. Some might complain about the smell, and you don't want that. You don't want people knocking on your gate all the time. The smell, the flies, or even the noise. In some cities, especially in estates, it might even be against the law, or it might be against the law regulations to run livestock farm too close to a residential home. So you might want to think about that. But if you don't have neighbors, you can consider it. I know this because my dad runs a poultry farm, and I know how the smell can make you very uncomfortable. So that being said, there are also benefits of having your poultry farm in your compound or close to you, because you can easily monitor your chicken to reduce theft and also cut down on transportation costs. So if you're doing a small scale poultry farm, let's say from 50 birds to 100 chicken for personal consumption or for small scale, it is much easier to manage and control than having a big commercial poultry farm. The next is safety and practical tips if you must do that. So this one is left to you. If you want to go ahead, which is understandable, you can build these poultry houses as far as possible from your living quarters. Let's say 20 to 30 meters away if your space allows it. Then ventilation, face their house away from your house, so when the smell comes and it does not blow directly into your house. Then the next is to be strict about the biosecurity measures you have put in place. They've used foot baths, little movement, like restrict movement in that area. For if you have kids, prevent them from going there. Separate your clothing wears or your footwears from the clothes and the footwears you wear to the poultry. Avoid overcrowding your chicken. This one is very important because it can cause stress and increase the risk of diseases. The next is to just try and plant trees, plants, flowers around the area to help to ventilate the smell that can come from the poultry farm. This one is if you decide to continue the business or start the business, just plant flowers to help like purify the air. So in summary, you can start a business like this. You can raise a poultry farm on the same land as your house is, but it comes with its own challenges. It is safer and more comfortable if it is small, and you can also manage it. Then for the hygiene, you can also manage hygiene very well. So this one depends on you. But if you are planning on a large scale poultry farm, it has its own like very, very big disadvantages. So this one depends on you. And our advice, even if you want to use the remaining 50 to run the business, just make a fence that is very high, that when the smell is going around, it will not really, it will come, you know, it's air, it will come in your compound, but it will not really affect the people living there. This one depends on you. I believe I've said everything that is important. If there's any more, if you're watching this video and you have a poultry farm and you have something to add to my subscriber here who has asked this question, I would really appreciate it. Then lastly, always think about long term, especially if you don't want this to make your home uncomfortable for your family and your neighbors, or even your friends who come to visit. So that is my take about starting a poultry farm in your residential home or close to your residential home. And if you like, you can just weigh the advantages and the disadvantages. If it's something that you can still live with, why not? It's a very profitable business. I would advise anybody that has the funds or has the knowledge in poultry farm to start a business like this. It will not just only reduce the cost of buying protein outside, it will bring money into your family. You can still expand into selling of eggs. You can do a lot with this business. From poultry farm, you can start rearing your own goats and other things like that if you want to expand. So this is a very profitable business. I would advise you to jump on it if you understand the disadvantages or my own concerns, but it's something that you can live with. Why not? If the wind of the poultry is not facing your home, it's very good. But if it's facing your home, there are some things that you can still do to prevent the smell from disturbing your living space. Like I said, please plant a tree. There are so many trees that can grow very fast. Fruits, flowers, all those things. In my father's compound, we have trees everywhere. He planted trees that they have grown into, they've started producing. So this helped to purify the air. And my sister's house also, she lives upstairs and they made the poultry farm downstairs. So the smell does not affect them that much, except you're coming from the gate, and it's not that much because it's not a large poultry farm. They have about 50 chickens, if not less, thereabouts. So thank you guys for watching and have a nice day. Bye.